Hey YouTube world, and hey to my Neville Nation. I know you're out there. Welcome to Neville Girl Forever, or welcome back. And on this channel, we discuss and explore everything Neville Goddard and anything related to that. So on this channel, we are all about making our dreams come true. So I invite you to join me as my dream life unfolds, and I'm here to support you with your dream life as well. So whether you're new to Neville Goddard and hang in there, it'll soon start to all click and make sense. Or if you are more seasoned and familiar and just looking for added support and a journey member, I am your girl. Because for years I studied law of attraction hard. Most of you had heard this, but for those that are new, I studied it hard, and it wasn't until I came across Neville Goddard and the thank you prayer that my life changed overnight. And so, many of you know I'll never stop talking about the thank you prayer. So you're going to hear it again. So I want to help you accomplish your dreams. And so we're going to jump in today's topic, which it's been a minute since I've been on. And as many of you know, I was getting ready to do a move, and that has been delayed, especially with all the weather things going on. There's been some significant delays with that. And so I wanted to do a fun topic today. Mostly I miss talking to you guys, but it's a really important topic about manifestations. So I feel really blessed with all the changes with the weather that the move got delayed, and then now we have the delay with that. So that's divine timing right there. And so I wanted to bring out the topic about my manifestation haul. And I do this in my mind all the time, but I wanted to jump on and do this with you all and discuss the importance of it. So this may not make sense to some of you right now, but it will in a moment. So I wanted to talk about the things that I've been manifesting recently and why it's important to celebrate those things. Because in the last 3-4 weeks that I haven't been on, was busy packing and getting ready for things. Now I'm not sure about when this move is going to occur, but I'm working with my processes to make sure that my world is my dream life, right? I'm focusing on being in my dream location, with my dream person, in my dream home, etc. And those are the things to maintain, and we'll get deeper into that. So let's talk about this manifestation haul and what has been happening, because they can be fun stories. But recently, so I don't like to go to things very often. Where I go and get my nails done, they have this discount nutrition place that's a really great place for sports supplements, and I like to work out. So this past spring I went to a thing, and I discovered it was a great way to manifest, because I don't think you'll ever see me going to like a Black Friday sale, let's say. I can never say never, but that's never been my jam. But I was invited to go to an event where people come ahead of time, and there's going to be special promotions and discounts. Well, it ended up being awesome. So I did that this spring, and I did that again recently in the last couple weeks. So just to show what flow state is all about and how we can maximize, because we should always celebrate. There's really no such thing as like a small manifestation or a large manifestation. They're just manifestations. So I'm going to show you some things, and then we're really going to talk about it. But I was excited because these are things to get excited about. Flow state is wonderful, and manifestations are wonderful. They are all to be celebrated. Because like I mentioned, there's no such thing really as a big and small manifestation. There's just manifestations. If it's big or small, it's because what label we have given to it, and that's why we're going to talk about this today. So when I went to this thing where you stand and wait before it opens, and people were really nice, and it was a lot of fun, but I ended up for like $35 getting like over $100 worth of stuff. It was so amazing, and there were things that I really love, and it was fun. So I ended up getting like lots of t-shirts, and I ended up for like $35 getting like 2 huge things of protein powder. And I had wanted some new water bottles. I kind of said that to myself. I ended up getting like 3 water bottles. Crazy. And a bunch of sports drinks and a bunch of energy supplement kind of things. I got all these really cool, fun things. Now, again, it may not seem a lot, and that's just a small little portion of it. I've got this ginormous bag sitting here, ginormous, full of stuff. But that's manifesting. It's the flow state. It's being at the right place at the right time. So for 35 bucks, like amazing $100 worth of things that I'm going to truly enjoy. And they were things that mean something to me, right? So then on top of which, I can't tell you the full story, but I can say that I was at the right place at the right time. As many of you guys know, I have a cute little Yorkie. Again, you're going to hear and see her here and there, but I was able to get some really amazing coupons. I can't really say how it happened, but just in the matrix, if we're in flow state, things happen. So I was able to get many coupons for a special promotion going on. In the matrix, I don't think that was supposed to happen, but my flow state was there. And so I was able to maximize that. And in the meantime, not only did I do that, but I was able to get some really nice beauty treatments done. So many of you may not know, I'm an esthetician by licensure, and I'm not so much practicing right now, but I love the beauty world. And we are going to talk in the future about how to use the law of attraction and manifesting and all of Neville's processes to capitalize that for our appearance and our looks as well. But I was able to get a 90% discount on this amazing laser that I like to get. And that's another reason why I haven't been on, because I figured with delays, I was going to take advantage. But for about 2 weeks, you're down. And while I was doing that, I also wanted to use my special coupons. I'm dying to show them to you, but I can't. I can't tell you how this all happened. But I did get some amazing coupons. And I was able to have some friends help me use the coupons as well while I was enjoying my 90% discount for my lasers. So that was really fun. Plus, when I came back from Greece, which was now, I think, over 2 months ago, and I discovered that there was a Subaru parked in my parking spot. Now, mind you, where I live, I love it. We have large parking spots, and we don't really own our parking spots, but it's understood. We have some really nice neighbors that we respect each other. Like we know the location proximity. So we usually kind of know that who parks where. Anyway, this mystery Subaru showed up and never went away. Actually, it never moved at all. And I kind of started to get a sense of who and what and where it came from, but it just never moved. And I don't own that spot, but then again, like energetically, I feel like I own the spot. And it's the closest to my entryway to my place. So usually I just energetically just indicate that this is my space, beat it. And again, I know it's not mine, but it's just kind of always worked out that way. But this time that didn't work. So I started saying the thank you prayer. And I was like, thank you for showing me that this issue with this vehicle is already solved. Because, I'll start thinking about ahead, like moving storage box, moving boxes, whatever. It's just really convenient for me to park where I usually like to park. And I like parking there, right? So anyway, I said the thank you prayer. And wouldn't you know, within a couple days, I'm pulling in and someone's pulling in ahead of me. I kind of live at the end of like a cul-de-sac. And then this vehicle backs right back up. And so I'm backing up. I'm thinking, uh-oh. So we realize that there are no parking spots where we typically like to park. I recognize my neighbor. And so fortunately, there's 2 in the front of the area, which is not close to where we usually park. It's not a big deal. And like I said, it's not a big deal. But I started talking to them about it, and he's like, hey, yeah, I've lived here forever, and I don't understand what this parking thing's about. And I let them know, I was going to reach out to the HOA people, but I don't know them so well. And since I am renting, I don't have a relationship. And he's like, oh, you know what? Actually, my wife, BFFs. And so therefore we're going to talk about it because, people who've lived here for a long time, if you can't park really in a reasonable spot, that's irritating. So this is manifestation at its finest sometimes. It's the little things in life. Remember, we were talking about that. But anyway, so wouldn't you know, 3 or 4 days pass. This was on a weekend. And then finally someone gets into the vehicle and actually moves it. And I can't even talk about how that happened because sometimes some moments in the Matrix are unbelievable. It had very unusual circumstances. It just felt very surreal. But I can just say that the vehicle moved, and it has continued to move every couple days. I think the point was made. But you know what? I was excited because basically I have my parking spot back. This is about manifestation. So if territorially me just saying that's my parking spot wasn't working, I then moved on to the thank you prayer. So thank you, Neville. I love your thank you prayer so much. So these are the manifestations that we look forward to. So the vehicle moved. Again, more crazy discounts. And then I also had some days that where I had for almost a week, like migraines. And I'm thinking that's a bummer. It's really hard to sometimes be as positive when you have that. And I'm working with different processes. As I learn more about the processes and what works, I'm going to share them with you. But for right now, the blessing on the other side was everybody else got sick. I didn't get sick. I just had some migraines and some more down days where there were people who were actually going to the hospital because they weren't feeling well. So those are other things to feel grateful for. And I finally paid my car off. And again, it was the traditional old-fashioned way. It was just the final payment. But how I had gotten my vehicle, or when I had gotten it, I had it at 0%, which is amazing. Even though I had great credit, it still was getting it at 0%, had its own circumstances. So like I said, I've had luck manifesting before. But now with Neville, we have some processes that really help us rinse and repeat. And that's why I love working with Neville Goddard and so many techniques related to it, even if it's not directly Neville. So I wanted to discuss all those things. Oh yeah. And then I went through a streak of for a week, people were bringing me meals. It was amazing. I had gotten so many very gourmet meals brought to me from people really that I didn't have much alignment with, which was shocking. But every time it happened, I was really, really grateful. And it was a nice blessing. It was a nice something to really feel great about and to appreciate. And so it was even like coworkers, people that you don't really get along with, just get inspired to bring you a gourmet salad or something like that. It was a really fun week of meals. So all that to say, because it's not about the receipts. I mean, I feel like if you're going to be talking to somebody or listening to somebody about manifestation, yes, receipts can be important, but it's more about the vibration. So let's talk about the power of I am. And I know this took like 12 minutes to get to this point, but it's really powerful because guess what? I'm celebrating by sharing. So, and I usually write things down in a journal. So number one, I'm going to recommend to anybody, just have a journal. I literally have like a spiral thing that I started with from the dollar store, I think. We make it a beautiful journal, but anytime something happens, I celebrate it because I'm recognizing and acknowledging that I am a powerful manifester. The power of I am is incredibly important. And as we dig deeper into Neville's teachings and his work, like everything he was discussing, the power of I am is important because, and I forgot to mention it in the beginning, as I've been trying to do, is that the whole premise with Neville Goddard is that we are one with God and God is a part of us. And the part of us that is God is our, what he would say, what Neville would say, is our wonderful imagination. So it's the I am state. And it's very important that we know who we are. We are amazing manifestors and creators. So when these things happen, it's important to jump into, I am an amazing manifester. I get anything and everything that I want. I love being magnetic to I love being magnetic, but I love being magnetic to my dreams, the things I want. It's important to celebrate that on a vibrational level. Yep. Because it's like I mentioned before, it's no big or small. The label of importance that we give to anything literally is it's us and our assumption. But a manifestation is a manifestation. So I love manifesting. It's fantastic. And I wish I could have told you more about some of the things today, but some of the backstories were amazing. I just can't. Sometimes there are times there's stories I just can't. but they were awesome. But it's important. Revel in the I am state and the power of I am by saying, I am an amazing manifester. I love and I am so grateful for what I have manifested. And just go on and acknowledge, because that makes you more magnetic to everything that you're trying to create and bring into fruition. And we're going to talk about that, because we're actually not bringing it in, we're aligning with it, and we're going to go over that. So it's amazingly important to acknowledge what a great manifester you are, and also that you start to feel that security and comfort of knowing that it's you are creating, you're manifesting, you can document it, and then you're celebrating it, because you want to keep that in your energy. You want that vibration. So whatever affirmations work for you on that. So being grateful, be grateful for everything you manifest, because that attitude of gratitude is so important for remaining magnetic. Because if you're grateful, it's going to attract more things to be grateful for. If you're grumbling, there's going to be more to attract to grumble about. And that's also important too, that we talk a little bit about the detachment. When we were just talking about, like, whether it's a large manifestation or a small manifestation, whatnot, detach from all of it. Detach from the chatter. Empty your mind about the past, present, and future on any topic. Just focus on your affirmations and what you're trying to bring in. Do your sats, your affirmations, your mantras, your the things you like to listen to, robotic affirmations even, and just power of I am, and continue to do sats and visualize, because those things are so important. As Neville states, we are source and we are one with God. And we talked about it, is our wonderful imagination. So we want to focus only on what we want to create, because once we start to realize that we're instantly manifesting quite a few things, you really start to realize that there's a lot of things you don't want to manifest. So you want to focus only on what you're creating and not looking to see where is it. You just want to celebrate every single thing that comes in, because all really alignment is staying on topic, really vibrationally. It doesn't matter what any of these techniques that any of us are sharing here on YouTube, it's all about staying on topic. Really, what is alignment? Alignment is staying on topic of the thing that you are trying to align with. And really, it's not like we're pulling it in from the ether, so to speak. It's not just going to plunk down. It's us staying there, knowing and appreciating it's here. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. So only use your imagination for good and for benefit. Forget about fear. That's old energy. And it's the negative use of imagination. If you've ever thought that you were not a good manifester, you are. We always have been. All of us, me, you, us, all of us. And what we get what we desire, focus on, and what we fear, because fear is a focus. It's just a negative use of like hanging on and aligning with a desire, but in a negative way. So any one of those things comes about. What we focus on grows, right? So you just have to grab a hold of that consciousness of that feeling of it being here, which that is what alignment is. The feeling that it's here. And then Barbados must be here. Your desire must be here, because in the matrix, let's see. That's not the page I wanted to talk about. So I want to encourage you to celebrate everything. And in the next video, we're going to also unpack a little bit more about this topic. So I guess that is the page I wanted to go to, because when Neville was wanting to go back to Barbados from New York, and he had his mentor, Abdullah was telling him that you are in Barbados. You are not in New York, you are in Barbados. And that's where I wanted to talk about aligning to our desires. Because I'm going to show you with a little example here. In the matrix, everything can seem relatively fixed, right? And I know some people discuss like birds before land. I think that we can have things in our awareness, so I think there can be a little bit of that. But truthfully, it is or isn't. So the truth is we live in a holographic universe, and there is a multiverse of different timelines of you and your desires. So by holding on vibrationally to the version we select, we will jump to that timeline where you now are living your dream life, where you have your stuff. And by deciding you are now in Barbados. Neville ended up going back to Barbados. He didn't know how. He wasn't asking the questions. They weren't having the conversations. It was that just he was in Barbados. And he was not to challenge Abdullah on that. He was just supposed to live as though it was. So when we do our sats, when we do our affirmations, there's a reason why we're talking about emptying the mind and not thinking about the brain chatter and the clutter of life. It is most important for just us to focus on what it is that's important that we're trying to, if you want to call it create. It's kind of a misnomer as we're discovering and discussing it more. Because I'm going to show you a little bit. So I'm going to show you a little, this is like the multiverse, right? It's not the greatest design. And so let's talk about like a dream car, right? So you won't be able to read this writing, but I'm going to read it off to you. But I filled in those little lines. So as an example, so when you're trying to align yourself with something, right? One line is, let's say you want your dream car. One line is you have your dream car. And another version of you in the multiverse, you just have a car, whatever car. Another one in the multiverse, there's so many versions of us, you don't have a car. Then there's one where you've been saving for your dream car. There's another version where you win your dream car. And then there's some that someone gave you a car, but it's not your dream car. I think you might get the idea. So there's many versions of us happening now. So when we are supposed to be aligning with something, we are actually selecting in the many multitude of options of where you are on a topic. That's the one that you are focusing on. And therefore, that is what you are bringing in, so to speak. You're actually aligning to that timeline. So I hope that makes a little sense. We will discuss that a lot more in great depth, but that's why when we do sats and we are literally dreaming and visualizing that first person movie about those things and how we feel, it's important to get familiar to that feeling and the feeling of it happening now, and then to do our affirmations and to celebrate our manifestations and know that we are powerful manifestors. And that's why I wanted to show you my little haul and discuss some of my latest things that have happened in the last X amount of weeks, because that is all a vibration. And so I claim for myself that I am an amazing manifester, and I'm claiming that for you too, because that's part of our journey together. So I think that's really mostly what I want to say about this topic for today. There is a lot more. I'm going to do another video right after this to kind of springboard off of this topic and go a little bit deeper. But I think it's really important to understand that any manifestation is an amazing one, especially we're used to previously maybe having negative manifestations. Anything that is something that you had wanted or you just felt like, oh gosh, I would love XYZ, celebrate that. I'm here to encourage you today to celebrate it all. And we're going to talk more about aligning in the multiverse in the next video. But I wanted to encourage you to use the power of I am, and anything that comes your way, write it down. Celebrate it. If you have someone you can share it with positively, if you want to make it as a little note and make a comment today as something that you have manifested, it's a great form of celebration. Celebrate them all, because that is a vibration and you want to usher in. Remember, I am a powerful manifester. I am an amazing manifester. I am a magnet for those things that I love. Remember that. That's super important, okay? So if you're enjoying my content, if you're new, please like, share, and subscribe. Make a comment about something you've manifested. And I'm not sure where you are in the world today or what you are trying to manifest, but I hope you're having the most amazing day. And I'm holding a space for you that all of your dreams have already come true. So until the next one, bye.